All right, Money.net Live, Tyler Wood from the CMT Association. Have you lost some weight, Tyler? You looking good, man.
Thanks so much, Bigby. I don't know about losing a whole lot of weight, but yes, a little detoxing after a great celebration in New York, some bull market dinners. We've been eating clean at the Data Wood
Well, let's talk
household.
about that bull market. You and
Yeah.
I have been talking about that for a while. That we're going to see a nice tech rally, and we've seen it. And we can go all the way back to October of last year, right?
Yes, exactly. I think what we look at in GoNoGo charts is trend conditions, right? With a composite blend of lots of technical indicators being computed in the background. So when we're in these blue and aqua bars, if you can see my cursor, that means the weight of the evidence, all of those well-tested and widely used trend indicators are telling us we're moving up and to the right. Now, the other thing that we really like to do is keep a chart clean so you can see these important areas of support and resistance. The concept of polarity in technical analysis is that a line of resistance, once broken through, becomes an area of support. So when we're looking at the S&P 500, breaking through that key 4,200 level, obviously a big fake out for us in 2022, late summer. But now we've consolidated above that resistance level. This could show us some support if we were to see another pullback. But interestingly, we're also above those August 22 highs. So I'd say there's more room to run here in the US equity space, and particularly within growth equities. So you were talking about the tech bubble.
Yeah.
Another way to look at that, Stephen, is sort of from the style box standpoint. So whoops, I pulled up a global rel map. Let's take a look
Yeah,
at
but
the
what do you say to people like me that says, okay, I've been bullish since October when everybody thought the world was going to end,
Mhm.
and now I'm trying to peel some off here a little bit. I mean, Nvidia now, literally, if I look at Nvidia, if
Yeah.
I told you the price to earnings was over 200, holy moly, right? That's just
Yep.
crazy talk.
Yes, I agree. High valuation multiples scare a lot of investors. But as trend followers, we know that things get to be overpriced as they continue to climb higher. So this major gap up that we saw in Nvidia, we know from gap analysis that's going to typically act as an area of support. And
It's
indeed,
going to
we've
close
been
though, right? Don't we know that's going to close? They're going to have to close that gap at some point.
eventually, yes. But what we're seeing from the weight of the evidence is that this bull run has been working very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're seeing now with a lot of investors finding those opportunities, right? This is not a popular bull market, Stephen. Sentiment-wise, when
Right.
you look at headlines about debt ceiling crisis and economic recession, I mean, economic indicators are very long lagging indicators. We often
They
don't even
are.
know it's a recession until the year after it's happened. But what I would say on this is that it's a very logical consolidation pullback above this major breakaway gap. But I would still see room to run. We're looking at the GoNoGo oscillator here in the bottom panel. Momentum's coming back down to test zero. And if you've been paying attention to GoNoGo charts, right, when you're in a go trend and that momentum cools off and comes back to neutral, but finds support and moves again in the direction of the underlying trend, it's a very bullish condition for trend followers looking to get into a trend that maybe they haven't been participating in, or to add to a position.
Could you pull up on your Go charts, weekly charts as well?
Absolutely. So let's take a look at Nvidia on a weekly. That's a big weekly bar, right?
Yeah.
And certainly when we see parabolic moves, when a trend is in place and it accelerates, we would expect some mean reversion. But mean reversion back to a trend line, I mean, that's still a sharp move upward. And we've got a long way before that upward trend would be broken by any kind of pullback or consolidation.
I
And
love it.
remember, Stephen, things can consolidate either through price action or just over time. So would I expect Nvidia to rip from here? No, maybe we spend some time consolidating sideways before taking off again. But
I
again,
like
we're
it.
above key resistance levels. That was where that gap took us, well above those October highs from last year.
Yeah, and this morning we were talking about it, myself and Creed on the air, that one thing is inflation has really been hitting is ag world as well. especially
Yeah,
in the
orange juice
futures.
futures, one of the best performing securities.
I mean, we just had a murder in the Tropicana offices down here in Florida, so you know, I'm sure
so
craziness is going on. Show us that big OJ chart there.
let's pull back to that in just one
Okay.
second.
Yep. Sure.
The idea around tech versus cyclicals or even defensives, you can look at it on a sector basis, but we could also look at it stylistically, Stephen. So for a lot of institutional investors, they're trying to allocate capital within their portfolios between large cap, mid cap, and small cap, and whether they want to be in value or growth stocks. So this heat map, right? We're using the same idea of trends, and we're just using ETF proxies against the S&P 500. So these are relative trends. And what's outperforming is growth equities. We're seeing in a blended fashion, we're seeing growth outperform. We're seeing growth outperform in the large cap. And then look at this, even in the small cap, growth equities are outperforming. And there's been a lot of chatter this week, Stephen, about Russell 2000 breadth improvement on the smaller side of the cap scale. This is a weekly chart looking at the Russell 2000, and we saw that major fake out in 2021, preceding our long standing bear market. But here we are breaking above a downward sloping trend line. We've got a series of higher lows. This is kind of a typical bottoming process.
Yeah.
When we talk about processes for bottoms, they don't typically take that sharp V formation. It takes some time for investors to digest what has happened. This to me is a very bullish weekly candle. We're in neutral from a trend perspective on the weekly basis in the Russell, but above that trend line. And if we jump it down to just look at a daily chart, Russell's had some real strong moves, and we're consolidating above that downward sloping trend line.
The Russell itself has been a lot of talk, and as somebody who is literally a daily biotech trader, the IWM is heavy in biotechs, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And biotechs are particularly speculative in the sense that they don't make a profit until one day they do. So there's a lot of work on the fundamental side for those long dated theses about where they're trying to invest. For us using technical analysis, we just want to be on the right side of the trade. When the market agrees with biotechs moving higher, then that's where we want to be positioned.
When you look at agriculture, the costs to put it in the ground, the costs, is rain coming in the Kansas City area, the rain coming in the Chicago area, right. And these ag funds are starting to push up a little bit.
Yes. So here's a daily look at a composite blend of agricultural products in the DBA ETF. Still have some upside resistance to break through, but on a daily basis, we've strengthened. I don't know if you can see that last bar. A blue go trend on the daily. Momentum has broken positive on heavy volume, right? We broke through the zero line, a quick retest, and off to the races. It's not yet overbought. Certainly looking very bullish for DBA. And if we look at that on a weekly basis, right, to get a little better context, this was the trade even going into a bear market of 2022, but we didn't see the same kind of destruction here that we saw in a lot of the fallen angels, small cap or value stocks. What we're seeing right now is that bullish consolidation above this range bound channel. And I would say that there's a lot of room to move higher in agricultural products.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Tyler Wood, CMT Association, and GoNoGo charts, man. We'll see you right back here next week.
Thanks so much, Big Beat. Talk to you soon.